Secondly, Mr Deputy Speaker, I will be voting against the finance bill because it does nothing to support those already impacted by the loan charge and still being forced to sign illegal disguised remuneration schemes if they want to do the work for which they're skilled. The Loan Charge APPG published a damning report earlier this year on the Wild West supply chain of unregulated umbrella companies and rogue recruitment agencies who conspire to lure workers into tax avoidance schemes, often entirely unwittingly. Yet the government has so far done nothing but publish some guidance. So when will the Treasury take some ownership of the bullying and aggressive activities of HMRC in chasing down those who signed these disguised remuneration schemes? These schemes are still being openly sold and have been targeting many lower paid workers, including, shamefully, at NHS staff being recruited to help with the nation's response to the pandemic. Too many ordinary workers advised to use these schemes have been hammered to the point of suicide, while promoters with known links to the Conservative Party have not yet been asked to pay a penny. This is an all too common theme with this current government, a government that continues to ignore the reality and the evidence. The reality is that if HMRC enforced the loan charge on the thousands of people who now face it, there will be many more bankruptcies, more mental anguish and potentially more suicides, more losing their homes, more unable to continue to work. The fact is, there is considerable new evidence not known at the time of the last review, that showed that the conclusion of the Morse review was flawed. And it seems clear that this important evidence was not shared with Sir Amyas, now Lord Morse. Indeed, he was not given an accurate nor a complete picture by HMRC and by the Treasury, and having in the past spoken to Treasury ministers, I sometimes wonder how much control the Treasury has over HMRC, or whether it's become a rogue agency. The clause in the finance bill mentioned by the Treasury Minister does nothing to stop the ongoing mis-selling. To do that, it needs legislation regarding umbrella companies to stamp it out. Fining the promoters and freezing their assets is all well and good, but it's much easier to legislate to make agencies responsible, and to which would overnight stop the schemes, as we proposed in the APPG report. Without legislation, Mr Deputy Speaker, to clean up the supply chain, there'll be ongoing skimming of contractors' pay, of misappropriating holiday pay, of backhanders between agencies and umbrella companies. So action is needed to actually stop the schemes rather than pursue the scam after it has happened. We know that HMRC have not been able to find legal precedent for the loan charge, that they themselves used contractors on loan schemes while claiming they were clear that this was wrong at the same time. And we now know that all along they knew that many people would not be able to pay whilst claiming they could and would do so. So surely, Mr Deputy Speaker, common sense, if not compassion, dictates that effective legislation and a fresh and genuinely independent review is needed to come up with a resolution to the loan charge issue, and one that avoids devastating consequences for thousands of families and goes after the right people for a change. We have new Treasury ministers now, and I hope they will approach the loan charge and disguised remuneration with an open mind and agree to carry out this much-needed review. And as my honourable friend, the member for Ealing North, said from the front bench, he's urged the firm of